Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Shooter Straight Podcast. It's your co-host, Zach.
And I'm Blue.
And welcome back to episode 17. First and foremost, thanks, everyone, for all the support on episode 16 with the Jeremiah Nyarko interview. We had big plans for that interview, and we were just so glad it came to fruition. We wanted to say a big thank you for Jeremiah for coming on. It was a pleasure having him on. Great talks about Bronny James, Sarah Canyon, San Diego, how we got there, coming from Africa, all kinds of different crazy conversations.
If you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out for sure.
Exactly. We're going to have, you can go check that out on the channel. And while you're down there, go ahead and subscribe because we just hit 200 subscribers. This is the first video since we hit 200 subscribers. So I just want to say thanks, everyone. The ride or dies that have been there since, I remember when we had 0. So the ride or dies, thanks everyone, and even the people who just subscribed, maybe even our 200 subscribers probably watching this video. Thanks to everyone who has been on the journey, and we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to make great content. We have a lot of great things on the way, so just stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and I was going to say, appreciate all the reels and the comments, and we take everything into consideration. So if you're thinking about commenting something about this podcast or commenting on a podcast previously, we're going to look at them and consider the ideas.
Exactly, and we're always trying to do new things, and we have a lot of things in the works, a lot of potential new ideas, and we're always trying to create the new, best possible content that we possibly can. So we're always trying to try new ideas, and we're always trying to get new equipment and always trying to improve. So ultimately, that's just what we're going to keep doing, and that's kind of showing with us getting 200 subscribers, so we're just going to keep grinding.
Facts. You ready to get into topics? Let's
exactly.
Shoot it straight.
We got a lot of them planned, so let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it with the sports. Like always, we got the saga ending. We have Donovan Mitchell officially being traded from the Utah Jazz to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Which no one expected.
No one really expected it. It was even reported that the Cavaliers were out of trade talks. They were not getting him.
It was rumored that the Knicks was going to get him, right?
The Knicks were 100% supposed to be the team that was getting him, and then all of a sudden, boom, the Cavs swoop in and get Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, the trade package was a hefty price. Lauri Markkanen going, Ochai Agbaji, Colin Sexton, and 3 unprotected first-round picks and 2 pick swaps. Obviously, those picks, Utah seems to be loading up completely for the future, giving away Rudy Gobert. So, with all this being said, what are your initial thoughts on this trade?
I think Cleveland's going to be stacked, as we all think. Because, they got some all-stars on their team added with Donovan Mitchell.
Exactly.
However, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think maybe they'll get to the first, second round of the playoffs. They'll do better than they did, but they're not going to be nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I think overall, Utah won in this trade.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely for sure. Because they're looking at it like from a future perspective, and they're getting a lot of draft picks. So we're going to see.
And they're banking on the fact that those draft picks will be hopefully top draft picks. Hopefully they're hoping that Cleveland is going to be bad by then because they banked on, 2025, 2027, and 2029 picks. I mean, they're thinking way down the line into the future. So they're kind of hoping, okay, Cleveland's probably going to be good for a couple years. They can keep this kind of young core
someone could get injured or something like that.
And then ultimately, man, with these young cores, man, it's hard to keep them together, and the money isn't always right. Is Dan Gilbert going to be willing to go into the luxury tax? You know what I mean? There's always a lot of question marks, and ultimately, Cleveland is one of the most blessed franchises that I can ever know in all of sports because they had LeBron James, and somehow they only managed to win 1 championship.
And since then, without LeBron James, they haven't won one since like 1998 or something like that. So.
Exactly. So the franchise, I have little to no faith in that franchise, bar LeBron James being there. So this is honestly the first time that they've honestly put something together. But do I have faith in them to keep it together for very long? I don't know. And that's why I think Danny Ainge is playing this smart. And I think that's why he's banking on Cleveland being kind of.
It won't be sustainable.
It won't be sustainable. That's what they're hoping. However, if you're asking me who won the trade, anytime a superstar, and I'm going to consider Donovan Mitchell a superstar in the sense of this is a rising talent.
Yeah.
He's averaging, he's breaking records that, he's competing with Allen Iverson for, you know what I mean? And anytime you're in a conversation with Allen Iverson, that's good. It's a good bracket of a player to be in. So ultimately, anytime a player of that caliber is dealt, I think whoever gets that guy is winning the trade. Although Utah did get a lot of draft picks, Donovan Mitchell is going to change that Cavs team.
But how much will he change the Cavs team?
Man, when you add him with Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen, I think that
I don't
That
think it's going
Cavs
to
team
be
is going to
enough.
be good. Do I think that they're going to win the NBA Finals or anything like that? No. But do I think that they are going to compete? I think that they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
Conference champions?
I don't know if they're making the finals. I think it's going to be close, man. The East is going to be tough this year.
Like I said, they're going to be better than last year.
It's one of them things, man. I think that this Cavs team, man, they could take.
They could build on this.
Man, the East this year, you call it a flip of a coin. You don't know who's going to perform. And the thing about the NBA, man, especially recently, you never know who's going to be injured and who's going to get injured at the wrong time. If ultimately with these kind of this talent, you just stay healthy and you get into the mix in the playoff time, you come playoff time, if you're healthy, you got a chance.
Facts.
Are you going to win? I don't know. But you're going to have a chance because this is a good quality roster that Cleveland has put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, for sure.
So, however, the big storyline in the media is not even that Cleveland is getting Donovan Mitchell, who's a borderline superstar, if not a superstar. It's that the Knicks failed to get Donovan Mitchell. And honestly, we even made a video on the channel, clip, talking about how we expected Donovan Mitchell to go there. We talked about it and what we thought the Knicks would be like with Donovan Mitchell.
It would have been a good addition.
Of course, but ultimately, in terms of Donovan Mitchell's career and in terms of winning,
yeah,
it's better for him to go to Cleveland. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, of course, yeah, 100%.
But the question is, should the Knicks have pursued a Donovan Mitchell trade harder? Because it seems as if they could have got that done if they really wanted to, and they just didn't. So do you think they should have done it? Considering, they would have been giving away first-round picks, potentially R.J. Barrett.
But what else could they have? That's what I'm saying. What are they keeping, and what else could they get if they don't get Donovan Mitchell?
They would have been losing probably R.J. Barrett and maybe 3-4 first-round picks.
That's not worth it, man. Definitely not worth it. Because the potential with these young talents nowadays, man, one of these draft picks could be a superstar.
So you think the Knicks made a smart move, not
of course.
pursuing?
That's what I'm saying.
But so that's why, obviously, you think Utah won the trade. So you don't think Donovan Mitchell is going to swing the pendulum of the NBA that much in the grand scheme of things? And you don't think this move, although it's going to shift up things, it's not going to shake it up crazy, It's not going to alter who wins the NBA Finals, in your opinion?
Definitely not. But it's all about looking towards the future with these trades.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, when you have Donovan Mitchell, who I would still consider pretty obviously young, and you can link him up with Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen. Obviously, it's going to probably be difficult at a certain point to keep all four of them together. But these guys could even continue to develop, and they could get even better. And these guys could be all NBA level guys. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell's probably already that.
Like Jason Tatum in the Celtics squad. Like it started young, and then you just develop, and then you end up in the finals.
Exactly. So even if they maybe even lose one of these guys to free agency, or they demand a trade, whatever, 3 of them probably is still sufficient. You know what I mean? If they develop into that superstar realm, and Donovan Mitchell's probably already there, so they only need 2 of these other guys. And Evan Mobley's looking like he could be that. You know what I mean? Darius Garland has that potential. And Jared Allen, I don't think he's ever going to be a superstar per se, but
he's always going to be a good role player.
And he's always going to give you defense, man, and that's what you want. And ultimately, Jared Allen is the kind of guy who's going to win you games. You know what I mean? He's going to win you games just because of that paint presence.
We'll see how long this squad stays together, though.
That's going to be the big question mark. And obviously, Utah is banking on it not being around probably by 2024, 2025, because that's what it seems as if they're banking on, because their first pick in this trade is going to take into effect in 2025. So they're assuming 2-3 years out of this team, and it's over.
Bet. Ready to talk about LeBron?
I'm always ready to talk about LeBron.
I know, bro. I know. So, yeah, LeBron posted a video getting ready for year 20. What are our expectations for the Lakers this season?
I don't think the expectation should be championship, which I think is honestly a disappointment. It's a disappointment anytime you have somebody like LeBron that's not honestly, I don't know if he's going to be competing for the championship this year. I think it's sad that we're going to waste another year of LeBron's career probably not winning a championship because the Lakers have not been able to build a championship-level squad around him. Obviously they have Anthony Davis. However, those role players are not there. And do I trust Russell Westbrook to ever get back to that third superstar level and really contribute to this team? I don't know if I trust it.
So you're saying what about during the offseason? Could they have made trades or did they really fail during the offseason?
Honestly, I don't know if they even failed during the offseason. They tried their best. And honestly, if the Lakers have one move that they possibly could make. Indiana, rumored to be interested in Russell Westbrook. Miles Turner potentially could be involved going to the Lakers. I don't know exactly what the details. If Indiana is able to take off Russell Westbrook, and even if we get whatever is involved in the trade, just if Russell Westbrook is off the team, if we get a bag of chips, maybe maybe the Lakers might be slightly more back than I think they are now.
Of course.
However, the question you're asking me is LeBron's performance. LeBron is about to have an immense season. I think LeBron is going to put on a show this season. I think LeBron almost knows that the Lakers might not be championship level basketball team this year.
But can he put on the performance?
But he's going to put on a show. He's going to put on a show all year. Year 20, box office, man. LeBron has just been doing so much things recently, and he's been doing. I feel like
I don't know if he can't. I don't know if he could do it without Anthony Davis stepping up.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of winning a championship, obviously not. But in terms of his individual performance, I think LeBron is. I mean, let's be honest. LeBron was averaging 30 points a game last year.
And when
I think LeBron is going to average 28, 29, maybe even 30 points a game again this year.
When he came into the league, he was raw, but then he started getting injuries and stuff like that. So
and he's fragile now. And honestly, you get a glass cup. That's Anthony Davis. He's fragile. You can break it any moment. It's Anthony Davis. But I think LeBron is going to have an immense season, and I think obviously this is the season where he breaks the all-time scoring record.
They're gonna have to make a trade in the season or something to put somebody around LeBron.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
To perform.
I think that if they can find any way to somehow get Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, anybody that's not named Russ, and you know what I mean. Anybody that isn't Russ will help the Lakers do better. And that's just a fact. What do you think about LeBron this season? What do you think about the Lakers?
Like I said, brother, you're gonna need to build. And that's not. You don't need to build a whole team around him, but just give him one guy, man. Just
one more guy.
Just one guy, bro.
And you think that if they got one more guy, would they have a chance?
I think they definitely have a chance of a championship. Maybe because it's always like.
Can you count out LeBron?
That's what I'm saying. With dealing with those best players, with whether it's Messi with soccer or Tom Brady with football, like it's just always like with dealing with the top of the top, you can never count them out. So nah, I'm not counting them out with winning the championship.
And that's what I always try to tell people, man. There's a lot of LeBron haters out there, but regardless, you can never count him out 100% because we have seen LeBron carry some bum-ass teams. And obviously a lot of people say that was 5 years ago, that was 4 years ago, man. We just saw
But he's still performing at top caliber.
That's what I'm saying. And obviously, man, the Lakers team is last year was just pretty bad. And ultimately, they're losing hope by the minute of improving the team. However, there's a slim possibility, and I'm praying every single second that I get the opportunity that
LeBron win another championship.
Oh, I would love to see it happen. It's a dream of mine. LeBron winning a 5th ring would be great.
I think he's beating the scoring record.
Oh yeah, obviously.
This season?
Yeah, obviously. That's
no doubt about it.
Unless he gets injured, and knock on wood.
It's a possibility.
Knock on wood. I don't want LeBron to get injured. So,
all right. So let's shoot it straight into soccer.
Yeah, it's ready. I'm tired.
So we got Man City. Oh, killing Nottingham Forest.
It was like 9. Yeah, it was like 6-0.
Haaland was a hat trick, right?
Back-to-back hat tricks.
Bet. Damn, man, that's insane, man. That's unheard of.
Erling Haaland has been tearing the Premier League alive recently, and honestly, after watching, I think everyone with a brain probably thought this right when he joined because everyone saw Man City in previous years and they said, "Wow." They had a Aguero, but he was towards the end of his career. Gabriel Jesus was never quite that guy. If they had a quality number 9, this team would be crazy. And they were already really good. Then they get Erling fucking Haaland, the number 1 striker, young talent in the world, right behind Mbappe. Maybe he's even better. You know what I mean? Some would say after what I've been seeing, he might be even better in some aspects. But that's besides the point. I think after what I've seen, I've seen enough. Erling Haaland will break the Premier League scoring record single season this season. He will break Mohamed Salah's record, and I'll even go as far to say that he will break Alan Shearer's record, which was even on the other games. Where they played more games, so they scored obviously some extra goals. But in a 32-game season, Mo Salah has the or 34 game season.
Yeah, I could definitely agree. I've been watching Haaland's performance these past few games, and look like he's an absolute beast. And I've checked out clips of the greats like Messi in his prime, Ronaldo in his prime, and he's just one of those characters that just is going to be around whether it's not only the Premier League but the whole world is going to know him, and he's going to be a star in football.
He's not going away at any time soon, and this Man City team is looking like utterly dominant. You know what I mean? Although they did drop points, they dropped points, and they're right behind Arsenal, who we're going to get into in a second. But they're just looking dominant, and it's looking as if nobody can stop them. And that we're going to see if that translates into the Champions League, because obviously they have ultimately that same curse as PSG about not winning the Champions League. And we'll see if they can break that this year. Ultimately, like I said last episode, one of them is breaking that.
And another thing, though, like with breaking the scoring record, is just like the talent only gets better and better like as the years go. So like now he's Haaland's facing pretty great defenders out there.
This is the highest level, and a lot of people thought he wouldn't be able to do it after performing in the Bundesliga, which isn't as good of a league.
Of course, they
said, "Well, okay, you can do it in the Bundesliga. You can tear that league apart. Okay, but can you tear apart the Premier League?" It's clear as day. Yes, he can. He can. And does he have Kevin De Bruyne sending him beautiful passes? Yes. But he is tearing the league apart so far. You know what I mean?
So you're saying over there in Germany, man, they don't be playing soccer like they playing in England?
I'm just going to say that the Premier League just has the most money pumped into it. They have the best quality players. A lot of players love to go there. And obviously there's other world-class players in good leagues. La Liga would argue. La Liga fans would argue. Right now, I would say La Liga and the Premier League is the top two. Has been for a very long time now. So a lot of people will still argue that La Liga is top. But for me personally, I'm going to take the Premier League. La Liga fans are probably going to be pissed at me in the comments, but that's okay. But because I like La Liga. And I personally, this is just slightly off track, but I've been loving watching Lewandowski play so far for Barca. But
fact.
That's besides the point.
So, what about Arsenal? They've been perfect so far, basically this whole season.
And that's 5 for 5, and they're 15 points out of 15 in the Premier League, and they're 2 points ahead of Man City, who we've been saying how dominant of a start Man City has.
Like I said, I still think they're gonna win the Premier League. Like they're gonna be top.
Man City,
for sure. Don't doubt it. But Arsenal will be a lot better than they have been in the past.
But the question is, so after 5 for 5, after being 5 for 5, are Arsenal contenders or pretenders for the title?
Definitely not winning.
Even if they don't win the title, are they going to contend for it? Is it going to be close?
Nah.
Arsenal's going to fall off?
I don't think they're falling off to where they were, but I think like this is a start to where they're building like towards their future.
So will they make the top 4 this season and secure Champions League football? Which is ultimately, if let's be real. Any Arsenal fan, if you told them at the start of the season they're going to get Champions League football next year, they're taking it. So are they getting it?
Next year, yeah, eventually.
They're going to get it.
Yeah.
But are they getting it this year? Are they getting top 4 this year? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, definitely. Nah, I don't see it.
Even though they're 5 for 5 right now.
There's too many good clubs, bro.
But obviously Liverpool, are they going to pick up form consistently? Chelsea, how are they going to perform? Obviously they've signed Aubameyang, but we're going to get into that. Are they going to perform? I don't know.
Again, and what about United, bro? We're sleeping on United, bro. They're back on a wave.
They are. They could be.
Manchester United, bro.
Look, me personally, I think Arsenal are pretenders for the title. However, they are extremely good contenders for the top 4. I would say, based on what I've seen from Arsenal, it's almost a certainty in my head that they're going to be top 4, and I don't see this team losing consistency. I trust Mikel Arteta. Ultimately, some people had doubts. You know what I mean? They were like, "Oh, well, Pep Guardiola, his prodigies, they're not going to be able to do it without him."
They just don't have enough.
Arteta is disproving that theory.
They just don't have enough good players in the squad, bro. It's not enough.
Saka has been performing out of his mind. They still have quality all over that pitch. They made some signings. But I trust Arsenal. I really do, man. Gabriel Jesus has been balling out of his mind. Erling Haaland has been great, exceptional, world class.
They've some of the OG teams, though.
Let's be real. Arsenal being 5 for 5, that is just showing me that they're going to have the consistency. And Chelsea, do I think Chelsea is even close to Arsenal.
They haven't
right
even
now.
versed any of the teams that we think are going to be even top 3, right? Chelsea, they haven't versed them.
Obviously, they smoked their ass in preseason.
Yeah, but they haven't played Manchester City or even Man United, right? That's what I'm saying. So let them play better teams, and then we'll see. But until then, I'm not so sure.
I don't know. I have faith in Arsenal after the performances that I've seen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could. Like I said, like this is a good start, but I want to see more.
I don't know. I'm ready to say that they're going to get top 4, and that's why I said it. I think it's. I mean, it's definitely not a certainty ever in the Premier League because injuries happen, but I think that they are definitely there. If not, going to be getting second, maybe.
But so you wanted to talk about the transfer deadline day.
Exactly.
Before we get into the NFL.
Exactly, because there were some big signings, including the clubs that are going to be contending for the top 4. Obviously, it's looking as if Man City might run away with the Premier League, but there are always the top 4 race, and that's always what clubs are ultimately gunning for. Champions League football is what everyone wants. And Chelsea have taken a huge stride in their race to get Champions League football, obviously after a horrible start. They've signed Aubameyang, reuniting him with his former manager, Thomas Tuchel, and signing a midfield option, Dennis Zakaria from Juventus. Ultimately, do you think Aubameyang and Zakaria can change the Chelsea dynamic and bring them up to contending for the top 4 and maybe even getting it?
Most definitely. I think they're already there, so they just needed Aubameyang and Zakaria. I think they're close there, so I definitely think they're gonna be there now.
Do you trust Aubameyang to fix the Chelsea striker problem? Because ultimately they've had a long-running issue of not having a quality striker. Can Aubameyang bag the goals for Chelsea? I mean,
do I think they'll win? No, but do I think they'll be contenders?
no. I'm saying will Aubameyang score goals?
Yeah, but I'm saying like score goals to be contenders of the Champions League, right?
I'm just saying, like, is he going to score goals in the games?
Well, yeah, of course. He's gonna slap.
Exactly. That's what I was asking. I'm not asking about in particular games. I'm just saying in general, Chelsea have had a long-running issue of strikers not performing. In general, across all games.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, will Aubameyang perform and end this issue for Chelsea?
Yeah.
He will.
I definitely think he'll be able to perform, no question.
Do you think he'll be able to score maybe even 10, 15 goals in the Premier League? He's done it before with Arsenal. Can he revive his career?
I think it's definitely possible.
Reuniting with Thomas Tuchel, who he's had immense success under.
Most definitely, and Zakaria.
Exactly. I think Aubameyang is going to help Chelsea a lot. I think it's an issue that ultimately Aubameyang isn't the best option. You know, obviously there were some world-class striker options. And is Aubameyang the long-term fix for Chelsea? No. But is he going to help us this season secure Champions League football? I would say it's better than what we had. So I'm going to say if you thought we had a chance before, we definitely have a way better chance now.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So ultimately, man, I've watched too many horrible Kai Havertz performances as striker. That shit makes me want to fucking take my eyeballs out and throw them away.
He is a good player overall, though.
But God, I don't want to watch him play striker no more. And honestly, I would have said the next game, start Broha. Armando Broha from the Youth Academy. Start him over Kai Havertz. And now, honestly, I don't know if Aubameyang is going to be fit, if he's healthy. He just got into the fight right
That's
before.
That's crazy. They'll start a youth kid
over Kai Havertz. I'm not crazy, man. The fans are saying it too. The diehards, man. The people that are there. The season ticket holders, man. They're saying Kai Havertz is not performing. He's not. And it's ultimately when we paid that hefty transfer fee, I thought this kid was going to be crazy. And he came from the Bundesliga. And he's been not what we expected. And he's obviously not like Haaland because Haaland is making the Premier League look like fucking.
So what about the other trades with United and Liverpool?
Ultimately, United signing Anthony from Ajax is a huge transfer. It's gonna completely add another dynamic player into the United attack. However, they have Jadon Sancho, they have Marcus Rashford, who seems to be back on form, and Cristiano Ronaldo has not even got back into the fold yet.
Yeah, he's on the bench and stuff like that. It's
weird. So it seems as if on first glance that United is going to have too many forwards. I mean, is that ever a problem to have too many world-class forwards? I don't know, but it seems as if they're going to have maybe even too many of them to play. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but Jadon Sancho has been performing, and he just scored last game against Leicester to get them the win, which was their 3rd straight win. So, like I said, a lot of people gave me hate for saying Manchester United are back. Who's laughing now? 3 wins later, they might be freaking back. You know,
And I remember agreeing with you on that.
That's what I'm saying, brother. So, and United signing Anthony, you know, is he gonna tear the league on fire right away? I don't know. He might have to take some time to adjust. However, this is a class young player. And reuniting with his former manager, Eric Ten Hag, I think that Anthony is going to be able to make an impact. However, like I said, they have a lot of forwards, so I don't know exactly how he's going to manage the rotation and all that.
What about Liverpool signing?
Arthur, it's kind of he's a decent player,
but he's not great.
He's not changing.
He's not doing nothing for them.
Not crazy.
Because they've already been pretty performing bad, like worse than what we expected.
Well, they just had a comeback win against Newcastle, obviously, which we got to watch.
Yeah, but
that was if they had lost that game, which it looked like they were going to at one point, that we would have been saying that what is this start from Liverpool, and then they score a random 98th minute winning goal, and now we're saying are they back? I still don't know. That performance didn't fully convince me of anything because they scraped by and somehow got a win. That doesn't convince me, and signing Arthur doesn't particularly convince me either. However, I think Liverpool are going to be all right. That's why I predicted them to make the top 4 in the Premier League prediction video. But do I think they're going to contend with Manchester City for the title? No. And Arthur is not going to push them over the top and be like, make me say that they're going to win the league now because they signed Arthur. It's freaking Arthur. You know what I'm saying?
So now we got the NFL with Jimmy G.
And this was a crazy extension because there was the whole offseason saga about is he going to get traded? We've talked about it on the podcast. He ultimately, nobody wanted him. Nobody in the NFL wanted him.
Because we all know he's not great.
And he re-signs on he's become the most highest paid backup in the league. With $6.5 million guaranteed with incentives that are going to push it to $16 million if he performs in whatever opportunity kind of fast that he gets and performs on the field. You know, that's why he has incentive. So ultimately, what are your thoughts on this move?
Honestly, don't. If they were going to start Trey Lance, I mean, like, why didn't they just get rid of him?
They couldn't.
Somewhere else.
They couldn't.
They couldn't?
Like, they couldn't trade him away. They had to like restructure.
Well, honestly, bruh,
and now
I think they should have.
One-year deal.
I think they should have just started Jimmy G though, bruh. You're paying all that money and you're trusting him, bro.
Do you trust Jimmy G or Trey Lance more?
Gotta trust Jimmy G, man.
You trust Jimmy G more?
He's got it done for you, bro. In the past, he should be able to get it done again. Like, he's made some issues. He's done some mistakes. But overall, like, he's gotten the team into some pretty decent places.
Exactly, and he's beat Aaron Rodgers in playoff games. You know what I mean? And he's accomplished what he's accomplished. He made a Super Bowl, lost ultimately to Patrick Mahomes, but he almost won that game.
Again, when no teams wanted him, so he's not great, but he can get the job done. So overall, I think they should have started Jimmy G and gave Trey Lance some reps. Got to give him some reps. Switch him out.
Ultimately, I think that this was a good deal for the 49ers. I think it lowers the money, and obviously with the incentives, you know, it kind of like if he plays, which means something happened to Trey Lance, he will get more money, which is good because the quarterback obviously should get some more money than $6.5 million if he's playing, he's starting. And Trey Lance, you know, I trust Trey Lance, but this just gives me that security blanket. You know what I mean? If something happens, if an injury happens, man, we have a good quarterback. Jimmy G, we trusted him last season with the offense, and at some points he was playing through injuries, man. You know he's going to give it his all. And ultimately now, I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, so if he does get the opportunity, I think he's going to perform very well for the San Francisco 49ers. However, I think Shanahan is making the correct decision starting Trey Lance. I think you have to go and you have to trust him. And I trust Jimmy G, but you have to trust Trey Lance because that's the future of the franchise and the potential is there.
So what you
rested him for the year and now it's time. It's time.
You think Jimmy G should get some reps though?
If something happens to Trey Lance, man, it's good that you have Jimmy G there because you trust Jimmy G.
What if Trey Lance starts performing, you know?
And so then Jimmy G's just gonna sit there like a backup does.
So
he's going to get paid $6.5 million to do that.
So if Trey Lance starts performing bad, he's just going to still continue to sit on the bench?
Wait, no. If Trey Lance starts
That's what I'm
performing,
saying.
if Trey Lance is bad, then Jimmy G will probably start. Overtake.
You got to give him a chance.
But what if Trey Lance is good? That's what I'm trying to say. I think Trey Lance is going to be good. A lot of people do as well. I trust Kyle Shanahan at the end of the day. This is one of the best offensive minds in all of the NFL. And that's why ultimately I trust the Miami Dolphins this year too, because they have Mike McDaniel, who was his apprentice almost.
We'll definitely see what happens with the 49ers this season. Let's get into the
Russell-
Broncos and Russell Wilson and his contract extension.
Another contract extension. Obviously, this is Russell Wilson getting a $245 million contract extension, making him the second highest paid quarterback in the league, right behind Aaron Rodgers. Ultimately, what are your initial thoughts on this move?
I mean, they already had him signed, so like they didn't have to extend the contract right away per se, right?
But they just wanted to get it done over with. The market is always changing. They just wanted to pay him, get it over with.
I don't think that was the move. I think you should have waited and see what young talent is coming out in the future seasons. Don't get me wrong. You got Russell Wilson now. Just chill with him now. I don't think they should have gave him a $245 million contract extension. You need that money to build the team, bro.
But you gotta keep in mind that's it's like a salary cap, so it's a cap hit every year, so it's like $30 million per year or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like $245 million right off the cap right at once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it seems like Russell Wilson is gonna stay there for a long time.
Yeah. But like, it's not like they can't build a team. They already have the team built around him regardless. You know what I mean? The team for this season is already built. It's going to be a real good as team. I think the Broncos are going to be really good this year.
Who they got?
Jerry Jeudy. And I drafted the running back in fantasy. He's up there. Young talent.
What about the defense?
I trust the Denver Broncos defense. It's one of the things. They always are going to have a good defense. It's the Denver Broncos.
Secondary
is always there. It's the Denver Broncos. Ultimately, with Russell Wilson, they solved their ultimate problem of the quarterback position. They have not solved that since Peyton Manning.
Of course.
Exactly. So once you solve that, they have a great wide receiving core, good running backs. Melvin Gordon. They got options.
But who knows how good Russell Wilson will be from a couple years down the line.
It's the court. Man, Russell Wilson his talent is not going to decline. I have full faith in Russell Wilson, and that's why I think this was a good move by the Denver Broncos. I think you had to give him this money. I think the way the quarterback market is going, man, we're seeing everyone get more money. Lamar Jackson is about to get paid whenever that happens. Kyler Murray got paid. Josh Allen, he's going to get paid real soon. Everyone is getting paid. You just want honestly, I think the Broncos made a smart move because I think the market is going to continue to go up. And if you waited any longer, Russell Wilson could have been asking for $300 million in a year. Would you rather pay him $245 million and get him locked in, or wait a year because you messed up and you waited, and now he's going to ask for $300 million because that's where the market is going. It's going up.
So it's like either or.
And ultimately,
or he could get injured or something.
I don't see Russell Wilson falling off, man. We're seeing what Tom Brady is doing. We're seeing the quarterback position evolve. We're seeing them be more and more protected. I trust Russell Wilson to be an amazing quarterback for many years down into the line in the future.
Definitely something. It's a
not like
possibility.
He's not falling off.
The possibility's out there that something could happen.
Of course, but that's with anybody at any given moment.
It's true.
You know, he could get injured at any given second, and Russell Wilson has had a few injuries here and there, but that's how it goes. You know what I mean? He's going to get injured. Sometimes he's going to get injured. You know what I mean? All you can do is trust your guy. And what better guy to trust than Russell freaking Wilson? You know what I mean? It's Russell Wilson. But, you know, it's Russell Wilson. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's Russell Wilson. I'm trusting it.
Let's get into the Titans. Tennessee Titans.
Obviously, their defensive end, star defensive end, Pro Bowler, Harold Landry tore his ACL in practice. Sad sight to see. He had a career-high 12 sacks last year. My first thoughts on this, man, it's one of the things I guess you can't really prevent it, but it's just I wish there was a way you could prevent it. You never want to see someone tear their freaking ACL in freaking practice, man, especially right before the season. And this guy, we knew he was going to perform. We knew he was up there. We knew he was probably going to be a Pro Bowl caliber player again this year. Maybe even get a couple more sacks.
This really affected my AFC South predictions, which we are going to get into in a minute.
Of course, this affected the AFC South predictions, man. I mean, this is a guy that's hard to replace for the Titans, and ultimately they still have Derrick Henry and they still have other guys, but it's going to be tough to replace this guy this season for the Titans. Harold Landry, that's a tough guy to replace, and Mike Vrabel is going to be searching for answers, and I don't know where he's finding them. I trust Mike Vrabel. You know, he's a great coach. I saw him accept his Coach of the Year award a few days ago. You know what I mean? He said he doesn't like to reflect on last season because he didn't win anything, because they didn't win anything, which is true. But he himself is a great coach. I trust him. But this guy's going to be tough to replace.
I really want to talk about the AFC South predictions, man, because this really just affected it all. I'm ready to get into mine first.
All right, well, then you better go ahead and say your predictions then.
So I got the Colts.
Finishing first.
So, yeah, finishing first. Then I got the Jags, the Titans, and the Texans finishing last because they lost to Deshaun Watson, man. That was a huge loss, man.
Exactly.
Huge loss. And the Titans, they just lost a star defensive end that they really, really needed. And again, people are sleeping on the Jags, man. But like I said, like when we were doing the hot takes, man, I got Trevor Lawrence really, really doing great this year, man. Great things. However, do I think they're going to beat the Colts? Not necessarily, man. They're stacked. They got a stacked roster this year, man. So,
all right. So finishing fourth in this division, obviously, I think I got the Texans. You know, obviously they're just rebuilding.
Same thing.
They're rebuilding. I think obviously you lose Deshaun Watson, top 5 quarterback. Honestly, they're gonna need to look for a quarterback of the future. You know, Mills isn't the guy long term. Obviously, is he fun to watch? You know what I mean? Sure, maybe he's fun to watch. He's fun to kind of laugh at in the sense of, oh, he's not the best quarterback, but he gets the job. That
make a play here and there.
Exactly, he make a play. But at the end of the day, Houston is going to be looking in the draft, they're going to be looking at the drafts. They're going to be trying to find their next guy, the next Deshaun Watson. I don't know if you want the next Deshaun Watson. They're going to be wanting to find the next great quarterback to wear a Houston Texans uniform. Finishing third in this division, I got the Jags. The Jags, honestly, I think they're going to be much better this year. I think the Jags are going to be much better this year. I trust Trevor Lawrence. I think they put together a better team around him. And ultimately, let's be honest, last year we were saying Trevor Lawrence was the best quarterback prospect we've seen since Andrew Luck, since Peyton Manning. He was the most NFL ready we've ever seen. And obviously, he had the Urban Meyer setback. He dealt with so much his rookie year. And honestly, Trevor Lawrence's rookie year fell so under the radar because the Jags were such a shit show and they were honestly so bad. Honestly, Trevor Lawrence went from the number 1 pick to everyone kind of forgot about him. I'm not going to lie. So I'm excited to see what he does this year. I think Trevor Lawrence will do great things. However, I think he's going to show signs that the Jags can definitely contend in the future. I think the Jags are not too far off, especially when we see how good Trevor Lawrence performs this year. However, they're just going to be a solid 7-10 team. You know what I mean? They're going to be 8-9 maybe. They're going to get definitely a lot more wins than they had last year. Finishing second in this division, got the Tennessee Titans. Ultimately, I think that their record is going to be worse, but there's probably worse than it was before the Harold Landry injury. However, now they're just are they going to make the playoffs as a wild card? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's going to be tough to say that now. You know what I mean? There might only be one team that makes the playoffs out of the South now. You know, and ultimately we kind of know who that's going to be. It's the Indianapolis Colts. But back to the Titans real quick. I love Derrick Henry. Obviously, that running game is crazy. Ryan Tannehill, we know what they got, obviously. But they lost A.J. Brown, obviously, to the Eagles. Huge wide receiver loss. Ryan Tannehill, not really a great quarterback. I saw him play too many freaking times for the Miami Dolphins. I saw him so many times.
He's not great.
He's not great, man. He's not really. And now without A.J. Brown, man, I just don't really trust that too much. I really don't.
I'm saying.
But Derrick Henry is a force to be reckoned with. Let's just be honest, man. He will win you games on his own. Put the team on his back. He makes Ryan Tannehill look like he can win the games and be a competent quarterback. You know what I mean? Let's be real. If Derrick Henry and the Titans are a better quarterback, even slightly better than Ryan Tannehill, probably going to be winning the Super Bowl. But not this year. I'm saying in previous years they would have done that. Previous years they would have done that.
Possibly.
But ultimately my first place team in this division, like I said, the Indianapolis Colts. I think getting Matt Ryan, replacing Carson Wentz is a good move. The Colts have been building a really, really good squad for a long time now. Jonathan Taylor, Darius Leonard on the defensive end. Well, obviously the linebacker, but he's on the defensive side of the ball. And let's be real, this Colts team is going to be really, really fun to watch. I'm interested to see Matty Ice on a different uniform. You know, he's been on the Falcons for so long, my entire life. You know what I mean? He's been on the freaking Falcons. So now to see him wearing blue instead of red, it's going to be kind of weird. But I'm excited to see how good the Colts can be because do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? No. But do I think they could be one of those teams that if they get into the mix come playoff team time and they're healthy, could they sneak up and win it because they got Matt Ryan and they got a proven guy and they got some proven weapons? Could they do it? They might. They got a roster. Am I betting on it? No. But could they sneak up on us and be a dark horse? Yes.
I like how we both got the Colts first and the Texans last, though. We had to agree on that.
Oh yeah. And ultimately, the Jags they could be good, and the Titans could play worse. Ultimately, Derrick Henry, as good of a running back as he is a running back. He could get injured at any second.
Might not be able to hold the team on his back either.
If Derrick Henry gets injured, then the Titans go from second place team to I'm gonna say third, just because the Texans are gonna be really bad. But the Titans, them being second relies on Derrick Henry in my eyes.
Bet. I think it's time to transition into music and culture, bro.
It's time.
Bet. So we got DaBaby only selling 500 seats in New Orleans, man. It's just
and the show got
bad.
canceled.
That's really, really bad.
Okay. So yeah, it's bad. And they had to obviously cancel the show.
It's bad.
Who are you blaming for only selling 500 tickets?
DaBaby.
What do you mean, DaBaby?
I'm blaming DaBaby, bro, only because his recent actions have gotten to where like you know what I'm saying, with the fights and like the whole like all that stuff, bro. Like it's been hard for a promoter for him to like really sell tickets. For the promoter to really sell tickets for DaBaby because of all the stuff that's been going on around him. Do I believe that all of it like is deserved? Like he shouldn't be able to sell tickets? Nah, I think people should still buy his tickets if they're really, really loyal fans. However, it's not seeming like he has that truly loyal fans, man. His DaBaby with the DaBaby collab with NBA YoungBoy, it only sold like 30K, bro. So, and if you're selling 30K with one of the hottest artists right now in the game, man, it's just, is he dying? Is the true question.
Mm-hmm.
Is he dying?
Is DaBaby
fading away?
I mean, I think DaBaby is slightly fading away, and he's gonna fall off. I was gonna pose the question to you, honestly, if DaBaby had fallen off. I mean, compared to where he was at one point when he was dropping #1 hits on Billboard with Roddy Ricch, and he's
nowhere near there.
Nowhere near there, but
and he knows that himself.
But he's still cemented in the rap game, and honestly, let's be honest, sometimes he's fire.
He has, of course he has a chance to come back, but will he in the near future? I'm not seeing it personally, man.
I don't see it. But for this particular incident, man, let's just be real. I'm blaming the promoter.
And why do you say that?
Let's just be real, man. It's DaBaby, and it's only a 15K show. And it's New Orleans. That's not that many people, man. If you're really selling it for that cheap, you gotta be able to find somebody to get that ticket. You gotta promote it better. There's no way. First of all, why would I blame? The only way you could blame DaBaby is if he didn't post it too, which is also like I guess promoting it in a sense, or you could blame him for making trash music. We're gonna blame him for falling off. That's what you're gonna do. I mean, I don't know how you could really blame DaBaby, unless he just didn't promote it either.
And like I said,
but let's just be real. It's the promoter's job to promote it. And
but how can he promote it if his recent actions have caused him, for his fans not to buy it?
So then why would you even book him for a show in the first place if you weren't fucking with his recent actions or anything like that? You got to consider that. I mean,
that's true as well. So, but maybe DaBaby was like, yo, you got to book this, bro. Like, I'm on the come up. Like, I'm coming back into it, man. Like, people are fucking with me again. You know what I'm saying? Because it's happened over a year ago.
Yeah.
However, he was excluded from performing at, like, some pretty high venues this year because of his actions last year.
I know he's had a lot of bad actions and such, you know what I mean, obviously in the past year, too many to count almost. But I just find it hard to believe that you can't find more than 500 people. It said they assumed they were fewer than 500, so you can't. So let's say you can't find at least
especially in New Orleans.
You can't find 500 people. You can't even find 500 people because it's less. You can't even find 500 people in New Orleans that want to go see a DaBaby concert for $50. $50? I've been to New Orleans, bro. $50 ain't getting you far, bro. That's getting you like 2 shots, bro. You could go to see
two shots.
You could go see DaBaby for $50, $25. Maybe you lower it 25, man. Look, 2 shots or watch DaBaby in the concert. Comment what you would rather have in the comment box below. 2 shots,
not $25,
or
bro.
DaBaby concert. Which one would you rather have? Answer, bro. Which one would you rather have, bro? I'm telling the comments to answer, bro. I for real want to know, bro.
Well, if it's only 2 shots, you're going to the DaBaby concert.
That's what I'm saying. So the promoter has to do a better job. Bro, I've been to New Orleans, bro. That ass, bro.
It gotta be huge shots.
It wasn't, bro. It wasn't, bro. It wasn't.
What do you mean it just wasn't?
It was like it's like some normal shots, bro. That ass, bro. I'm not capping. Why would I lie?
So we got Nav.
One of our favorites.
Officially drops his feature list for his new album. We got Uzi, Future, Travis, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, and more. I'm thinking it's gonna be fire, bro.
This shit's gonna be ridiculously fire.
Like fire.
Ridiculous.
Like top on
I had to
Billboard.
sit up. I had to sit up. Man, some people might be sleeping on this Nav album. I think this shit's gonna be
sleeping
fire.
on Nav in general.
Let's be real. Uzi, Future, Travis Scott, Lil Baby, Lil Durk. Let's be real. So you would say that's the generic feature list per se, but we know they're gonna come in with some banger verses, some fire verses. Uzi, the production is gonna be their Future. The production gonna be their Travis. We've already heard the Travis Lil Baby feature. Unless there's gonna be another one, we don't know.
I think with the Bryson
John Tolliver, Bryson Tiller.
With the Bryson Tiller feature, he's like expanding his
trying to do some different stuff.
That's what I'm saying, trying to do some different stuff. So it's interesting.
And obviously, the song that Nav just dropped, the second single, "Wrong Decisions," was produced by himself. So I'm really excited to see Nav with
producing his own music.
Exactly. Like I said, I love it when artists do that. I've said it so many times on this podcast. So that's why I'm really, really excited to hear this album. And Nav obviously has been cooking it up for so long. Where it's like, it better be fire. You know what I mean? Like I'm expecting a classic from Nav almost in a sense. You know what I mean? Especially when I first saw this track list. You know what I mean? Uzi's obviously one of my favorites, and Future.
Heard this little snippet with the intro video to the album. It was fire. The whole art and all that stuff. Like it was
Nav
crazy.
and Future have not really dropped a bad song in a long time. They've been dropping bangers recently. You know, every single year almost. Don Tolliver's been on a feature run and stuff. So like Lil Durk, come on, like if anyone thinks that this is gonna be bad, they're crazy. Crazy.
Insane.
Now a lot of people are gonna sleep on it just because it's Nav. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people sleep on Nav. But like, I don't know, with this album, bro, I would just encourage people, and we're gonna talk about people who you should listen to, you know what I mean? But I would just encourage people, even if you sleep on Nav, to listen to this album and really give it a chance, because I think he's been cooking it up for a long time, and I think it's really going to be maybe one of his best bodies of work.
Fact, I can definitely agree with that.
I think Nav himself has even said, hinted at that in an interview, said this might be his best body of work, and we know Nav has dropped some good music. Even people who I know hate Nav will admit Nav has made good music.
Of course.
So, like, this could be his best body of music, and if that's the case, you got to give it a listen. I'm going to be listening. I'm excited. I can't wait for it to drop. I don't know if they dropped the official date. I don't think so. But whenever he does, I'm going to be on it.
Facts, and you know I'm going to be on it too.
Exactly.
So now, let's get into Quavo and Takeoff dropping separate music from Offset.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, Offset's beefing with the whole QC and whole label, man, suing him.
Exactly.
Suing him.
After they attempted to claim his solo career, and Offset said he paid hefty millions of dollars for the rights to his solo career. And if that's the case, I'm not going to lie, QC trying to claim his solo career, if Offset really did pay millions for it, is super fucked up. But it's not the first time labels do messed up things. Labels consistently do messed up things, and I'm not going to blame Offset for doing what he's doing. And, you know, I don't know exactly the full situation. Obviously, nobody really knows. But if Few, which, you know, happens to be Quavo and Takeoff, are not going to ride with Offset, if this is the case, and they're really trying to steal Offset's solo career. You
This
know what
could
I mean?
be the end of the Migos.
That's sad, but you would think if that's the case and they would see like, okay, that's messed up, they would ride with their boy because that's Offset. So I don't really understand it, and I'm excited, not excited, but I'm interested to see
What Offset's his solo project.
his solo project. But I'm excited to understand whenever this all comes out, because at some point they are going to start talking on this.
Exactly.
Right
Everything's
now-
going to come to light.
Exactly, and I'm so interested to see exactly what went on behind the scenes and what was going on. Why did this occur? Because right now we still really don't have no answers.
Facts.
And it's all speculation. And let's be real, we're just getting bits and pieces of information that they kind of want us to know, which screams publicity stunt. But like, I just don't know, man. Like to me, what they're doing, first we said publicity stunt, but it just gets more and more layers to it.
And I knew, bro.
And now it's seeming like it might not be for real, man. Especially
remember
with
during
this
the
QCP beef.
I remember during the beginning of this, man, I'm like, yo, like, they're really beefing, man. And like, I don't know if Quavo and Loic would just go out and be like, yo, we're unconfused now. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying in the beginning,
Yeah, you
bro.
did say that. I remember, and I said, bro, I was like, nah, it's just a publicity stunt.
Now, and I was like, nah, bro, he wouldn't name like a whole like type of group without Offset if it wasn't for real.
It doesn't make any sense. And you might have been right. Because let's just be real, man. It's getting worse and worse, and he's bringing other artists into it. Like, let's be real. Do you really think it's a coincidence that they're dropping on the same night and Lil Baby is...
That was a little while back, though, when I said that.
I know, but I'm saying, like, do you think it's a
I'm
coincidence
saying.
that Lil Baby is dropping on the same night and they're dropping music on the same night and Lil Baby... And he's saying, oh, it's time for Lil Baby, and he's using this as promo. I don't know. I don't know. I understand why QC is definitely trying to use this as promo because Lil Baby's about to drop.
Facts.
And all the stuff. And obviously, they might not be making money off of Offset right now, but they're making money off Unconfused.
Facts.
They're making money off that big stunner with that just dropped. They're making their money off of Party all the time, or I guess Party that dropped on DJ Khaled featuring DJ Khaled album with Quavo and Takeoff, which was fire. So QC is chilling, and they're just they're racking in the money because of this beef. But ultimately,
might not pay off in the end.
and I don't know what the future of the Migos is fully going to be. You know what I mean? Is it? I don't know. Part of me is still leaning, just because in my heart and soul I want them to come back together. I guess that they're gonna be back one day. I think that this won't be the last time. Culture 3 was definitely not the last time we see a Migos album. I will say that. I don't think so.
Facts.
I don't know, man. It might take a break. It might be 2 years. I don't know. Beef might some more beef, some more layers to the beef might happen, but at some point they're gonna reconcile it. And I hope
everything's gonna get unfolded, and people are gonna know about it. And people are gonna. Some people may
and more sides to the story might come out.
Exactly,
and then
maybe an educated person can chime in.
And then maybe
That's
they can.
close to
and then
them.
maybe hopefully they can fully resolve everything and the money and make everything right, and then move forward as a group. Because ultimately, man, they're blood at the end of the day. So I know you can only beef so hard, man, and eventually that gets to it's fucking with the family, and you can't really have that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So like they're gonna have to figure it out at some point. And I know that their family, other family members, aren't gonna let them continue to beef. You know what I'm saying? If it's for real,
Of course.
I don't see it.
So you ready to get into potentially a new series on the channel?
Yeah, well, maybe not. I don't know. It's something that we could talk about at some point. You know, obviously, we just wanted to shed some light almost on some underrated artists.
Exactly.
That we are personally rocking with at the moment. You know what I mean?
We both named one each, but there's
so many, I guess,
more that we could have
like.
named, like Strict for one.
And you know, we've been interacting with him on Instagram a little bit. You know what I mean? Let us know in the comments you want to see.
Young Mo.
Tag Strick if you want Strick on Shoot It Straight, because I'm trying to get it. We're trying to make it happen, man. Let Strick know that y'all want him on Shoot It Straight, basically. Let Strick know, because we want to get him. And Strick low-key is starting to like fuck with us a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So if y'all start to show, you know what I mean, maybe we can get Strick. I ain't gonna lie, that shit will be fire. We want to get Strick, but that's besides the point. That's just one underrated artist, man.
Again,
listen to Strick if y'all haven't already.
We got many more that we could have named today, but
Blue,
I'll go first.
Exactly, Blue. I wanted you to go first and name your underrated artist.
I mentioned him on the channel previously. We got Montana of 300. Recently dropped his album Rap God. Man. Montana of 300, man. I can go on about him for a long time. However, let me just say these things. One, the way he flows on the beat, immensely ridiculous. I haven't seen nobody do it like him in a very, very long time. Two, lyrically, insane with the double entres and we call it the double double entres and the entendre, and the stories that he tells when he raps, just crazy. So the way he's able to put everything together, I've never seen it done with anyone. And I'm talking with Eminem, Jay-Z, like the greats. And I've listened to the greats, and I don't know, man. I think Montana, he got him. So let me name 3 songs that you guys should go listen to. We got Homecoming King, The Boy That Never Sold His Soul, and Love Me When I'm Gone. And those 3 are all off the Rap God album. However, I also wanted to name some honorable mentions that aren't on the album. We got the White Iverson remix, the Chirac remix, and the Super Gremlin remix. So y'all know all those are fire beats. Let us know in the comments how he did on the remix and his own songs. Yeah. But especially the remix compared to the rappers who rapped them originally.
And I do like Montana as well, you know, obviously. Me personally, like, The Boy That Never Sold His Soul, that shit's fire. Y'all gotta listen to that if y'all haven't already heard it. It's fire. Like why would we lie when when I say y'all gotta hear these songs, man.
Just the story, man.
They fire, bro.
And they're fire.
Why would we cap and put y'all onto some trash? You know what I mean? We really not. This is fire. You gotta hear them. If you like that type of music, you're gonna like Montana. You know what I mean? It's the story he's got to tell, the flow,
and the beat too. Like it's a song you can listen to.
These beats are crazy, and let's be honest. If you listen to the remixes, you know you're gonna like those beats because it's classics. But he only gets on classic beats. You know, hits. You know what I mean? Super Gremlin. You know that beat's fire. White Iverson.
Fact.
We just heard the Panda remix. You know, back in the day, it's a classic beat. Panda. Like a bros in the letter. You know what I mean? It's a classic. So
I know you wanted to talk about your artist though, bro.
Exactly. Big Walk Dog.
Signed to Gucci Mane.
Let's be real. I'm not gonna lie. I got my boy Jonathan. We had him on the podcast one time.
Not me, a different Jonathan.
Exactly, another Jonathan. My boy from Avon Park. Put me on a Big Walk Dog back in the day. And he's my underrated artist because right now, let's be real, he ain't pulling in the crazy amount of views. Although he is signed to 10-17, he should be getting more views than he is, honestly. The future, you know, he's getting some decent features. Not really, though. He can do it on his own. He just dropped some new songs. You know, he's dropping like almost every week, almost. You know, I subscribe to him on YouTube, and he just drops all the time. He's feeding the fans.
It's not necessarily like the story, though, like with Montana for me with Big Walk Dog. It's more like he's just like, you can like
he just go in, man. His beats are crazy, and he just kind of
you just bang your head.
He just turn it on, man. Like, and then just his song go crazy. His songs go crazy in the car. And the 3 songs that I would recommend, man, if you got to listen to Big Walk Dog. First, Love of the Money featuring Hot Boy.
Ooh,
fire. It's just a vibe. It's more of a. It's not the headbanger almost. It's more of just a vibe song. It's versatile. Big Walk Dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Hot Boy, obviously, that's one of our favorite artists. And for me, when they collabed, I was like, oh my God, this is like a dream come true almost because this is two of the most fire artists right now coming together. And they made it an absolute fire song.
Facts.
And I hope they collaborate in the future once Hot Boy gets out. And if they made more songs when they were in the studio, I hope we'd get those. You know what I mean? Because it was fire.
What are your other songs?
The second song, Nino. We heard it in the car on the way to the bank earlier. It was fire. Nino. Let's be real. He dropped it like 3 months ago or whatever. It's more of a newer song. I think it's going to be on his new tape whenever he does drop it. It's one of them headbangers, like what we were just talking about. That's a headbanger. And then the hit that I'm going to say you have to listen to, and this is probably the song that a lot of people, if they have heard Big Walk Dog, this is probably one of his biggest hits, if not his biggest hit, with Gucci, Poppin'. Dropped on the, dropped on the 10-17 tape originally. Let's be real, that song is the song that put me on Big Walk Dog. It's fire.
You put me onto that song.
That's how
That's what I'm saying.
That's how I showed him Big Walk Dog when I first showed him Big Walk Dog. it's just one of them songs. Like when you first listen to Big Walk Dog, that's what you want to listen to, man. Because everyone kind of likes Gucci because he's an OG. So if you like Gucci, man, listen to that song. You're gonna hear Big Walk Dog. He spits a fire ass verse. And then you're gonna want to listen to Nino. You're probably gonna want to hear Nino. Once you hear Nino, Love of the Money, you're gonna be set. You're gonna be like, Big Walk Dog, I need a tape right now. That's what I'm like. I'm waiting for the tape. And ultimately, when Big Walk Dog wants to tape, hopefully we can get the interview one day. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can get the Montana interview. You know, let us know in the comments down below what songs from these artists that y'all like the most. And maybe even if y'all listen to another song that we didn't even list, because we obviously listen to other songs from these artists too. So it's hard to put it all into a top 3 list. So if you listen to another song that you like, put it in the comment box below. We probably gonna like the ones that we like the best. We'll probably let y'all know. Oh yeah, that song's fire, or you know, oh we didn't like that one, whatever. You know what I mean? We always got our opinion on almost every single song that comes out. Almost. So
it was good to add music on underrated artists. So
exactly.
Was really good.
Big Walk Dog and Montana 300. You got to check them out. Got to, every single person.
Facts. Let's get into culture.
Whoo! Chris Rock.
He's not going back.
And do you blame him? Chris Rock not going back to the Oscars in 2023 after the infamous slap. Do you blame him?
Not necessarily.
Should he have went back?
Nah, I don't. Man,
I don't think
waste of time.
I don't think he should have went back, bro. They disrespected him, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
It was just look. They lost credibility with the disrespect. And let's be real, Chris Rock literally compared him going back to host the Oscars. It would be like OJ's ex-wife going back to the restaurant that she was stabbed at, and obviously was fatally stabbed.
Jokingly, obviously.
Jokingly, he said that, but I'm saying like that's what he compared it to. And let's be real, he's right. After that, honestly, one of the most infamous culture incidents of all time, almost. I remember that shit was that shit was on a whole other level of viral. Him going back just next year would be distasteful. In my opinion, be distasteful. And let's be real, it was smart of him to also turn down the idea of a Super Bowl commercial referencing the slap. Because if I was Chris Rock, I've made my money. It's not about the money. I want to move on from that incident. And Will Smith, obviously, they've probably spoken private. Maybe they haven't. But I would just want to move on from that incident. I'm sure Will Smith wants to move on from the incident. Chris Rock does. They are doing their own respective things. And they just want to move on.
Just him hosting the Oscars would just remind everyone of, like, the slap and, like...
And then, someone would low-key someone would make a joke about it. Like, they would act like they're going to run up on him and then, like, fake it out. You know what I mean? Like,
and they're going to do that either way, probably.
They are.
But still, like, it's just not, like...
But it would have been super distasteful if they did it while he, if they do that and it's, like, somebody else hosting it, it's a funny joke. But if you do it, it could offend Chris. Like, I mean, I don't know, but people could make that out. I just think it would have been weird to have him back on right after, man, and it would have just been like almost like a pity, like, oh my God, we're so sorry that the slap happened last year. Here, you can do it again. You know what I mean?
Of course. And
people would just be like, oh my God, I have so much respect for Chris Rock for being able to do that. You know what I mean? It would be like almost a pity thing. And Chris Rock, he's an OG. He don't want no one's pity. He just wants to move forward and move on with his life and continue to do comedy and entertain people. And I don't blame him, man.
Yeah, so overall, like I said, like I think like he shouldn't host the Oscars again because like it's not gonna be good for Chris Rock overall. I can definitely agree with you.
Exactly. I just don't think it's a smart move, and let's be real, he just needs to move forward, continue to move forward, and that's all he's doing. I think it's smart.
All right, let's get into the next topic. We got KSI winning 2 fights in the same night.
Exactly. His event against Swarms and Luis Alcaraz Pineda.
However, Andrew Tate, who's been popping on social media.
Going crazy.
Popping
he got banned now,
media.
technically, I guess.
But
he's not popping no more.
He's been popping on social media because other people have been posting him, reposting his videos. They're trying to keep his name alive.
Exactly.
So
and his name is still alive. We're even talking about him.
Exactly. So do you believe that Andrew Tate can beat KSI and True Jordy
on the same night? I don't think he can. I'm not gonna lie. Some of what Andrew Tate says, I agree with. Not gonna lie. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with the top G. I like the top G. I like kind of what he says. I don't have nothing against Andrew Tate, and I don't think he should be banned off social media because I think everyone should have their voice. And let's be real, regardless of him saying some bad comments sometimes, I guess, and maybe it's kind of just how he words them sometimes. He does have a lot of inspirational and motivational messages for the youth.
Of course.
And let's be real. you can watch his message and some of the things he says and be motivated to want to get rich and do better in your life. And is that ever a message that should be getting frowned upon for putting out there? I don't think so. So with that being said, it has nothing to do with that, but I just think I saw a video of Andrew Tate doing real boxing, not kickboxing, and it just wasn't really it. And I just think KSI is a seasoned boxer. He's done more fights. He even beat Logan Paul. KSI would win that fight. You know what I mean? Now let's be real, Andrew Tate would probably beat True Jordy, but I don't think Andrew Tate would beat KSI.
Personally,
unless he trained hella.
Do I believe he'll be able to beat both in the same night? No, but I think he's beating one. It's possible, though. I think he can beat both in the same night because it's Andrew Tate.
Let's be real.
He has a mentality.
Let's be real. The one that's up for debate.
The
fight that's up for the most debate would be him versus KSI. Who do you think's winning that fight?
I got Andrew Tate. So if he fights KSI first, I got Andrew Tate.
That's what they're gonna want to do. They're gonna want him to be the most fresh and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, then I got Andrew Tate.
Damn. I don't know, man. I trust KSI. I think KSI will be able to win that fight, but I do think it would be a good fight, and I think Andrew Tate got a strong mentality.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So in training, bro, it's just gonna be different, bro.
I think it would be a close fight, but I think KSI might pull that out because of the extra experience in boxing, and maybe even a higher level boxing per se. You know what I mean? Andrew Tate was a really good kickboxer, but does that translate to high level boxing? You know what I mean? KSI beating. Do you want to call it high level? I don't know, but Logan Paul, I would consider decently leveled. You know, he's had top trainers, trained with Floyd Mayweather, went against Floyd Mayweather. It's a pretty decent level, and KSI beat Logan Paul. And now he's beating Swarms and Luis Alcaraz Pineda on the same night. It's impressive. And if he does get Andrew Tate, I think he'll win.
Again, I think Andrew Tate has a possibility of beating both, but I know he's going to beat one. But speaking of Logan Paul, we got Jake Paul fighting Anderson Silva.
This is a huge fight. Even Dana White, who has been on record hating Jake Paul over and over again, has said, this is the first real fight of Jake Paul's career. And that means something to me. As soon as I saw the headline, I said, oh my God. I had to write this down on the topics list. It was over. I had to write this down. Let's be real. This is Jake Paul's first real fight. His first real fight. Anderson Silva, that's a real fighter, man.
He was a beast.
Champion. Although it might not have been boxing, but he's an MMA fighter.
He's not at the peak of his career
but he's an MMA fighter, a champion, but he actually has a good boxing experience.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be no walk in the park for Jake Paul. Honestly, he's the underdog. Maybe for the first time in any of his fights, Jake Paul is actually the underdog. So with that being said, this fight is set for October 29th. It's the first real fight of his career. Do you think Jake Paul will continue his streak and beat Anderson Silva?
I got Jake Paul winning. Do I think it's going to be a knockout? No. But I got Jake Paul winning, man. He's going to win at the end of the day. Anderson Silva, man, he hasn't been really in the ring consistently, bro, for a pretty long time, right? So,
and even in MMA or nothing like that, UFC. I'm not going to lie. I got Jake Paul winning this fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Anderson Silva is going to be arguably the toughest test yet for Jake Paul. But I think Jake Paul is locked in. I think, at one point I thought Jake Paul's fights were rigged, but I don't know if I fully believe that no more. I just think Jake Paul is a good boxer now. I think he's trained for long enough. I think he's got the best of the best trainers. He's been putting in the work. At a certain point, we're gonna have to start giving him credit, and I think this is the fight. I mean, I'm already given him the credit because I think he's gonna win this fight. But after this fight, I think it's gonna wake a lot of people up, and I think even for Dana White, if Dana White's saying it's a real fight, he's gonna have to eat those words when Jake Paul ultimately wins this fight. Anderson Silva, I don't know.
He's consistently called out Jake Paul, Dana
Exactly.
White, and a lot of people in the boxing and MMA community saying he's not a real fighter, but we're gonna see.
And do I think Anderson Silva is going to end up on the floor? You know what I mean?
No.
I would be surprised. And if Jake Paul is able to do that, I'm going to be on this podcast talking crazy. I'm just saying it now. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I think over the course of the fight, Jake Paul will be able to win enough rounds and be able to win maybe on a split decision. I don't know. I think Jake Paul will be able to win that fight, but it's going to be close. You know, Anderson Silva's going to win some rounds. He's going to be able to strike well. There's always going to be that chance that Jake Paul could get knocked out because that's boxing at the end of the day, man. You can get knocked out at any second if you just put your hand at the wrong spot. You slip up, you're on your defense for 1 second. Boom! Nights out. You know what I mean?
It's very true.
So ultimately, it's going to come down to who has that mental wherewithal, the mental toughness. And ultimately, man, I know Anderson Silva got that, but does he have it at this point of his career? I don't know. And I trust Jake Paul.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because Jake Paul has proven it to me recently.
So you ready to talk about the Atlanta DEA gang indictments?
I'm ready. My first initial reactions, man, I was scared. I thought that 4PF was going to get caught up. I thought it was going to be Slaughter Gang. I thought it was going to be the next rapper getting caught up.
She's going crazy right now.
She's going crazy. However, it's actually kind of the reverse. She's actually helping celebrities that were affected by other gang members that just happen to not be rappers. And it's kind of funny how the perception changes, you know, if it's the rapper, if it's not, because I'm saying that these gang members, it's good that they got locked up. However, if it was 21, bro, or if it was DaBaby out locked up, I'd be like, not free him. You know what I'm saying?
And they ended up robbing some famous profile figures, including Calvin Ridley, who plays for the Atlanta Falcons.
Mariah Carey.
Brad Guzman, who plays for the Atlanta
United goalkeeper.
Atlanta United. So
I'm saying that this was honestly a good move for the Atlanta DEA. I'm just glad that it wasn't another rapper, you know what I mean, getting caught up, because that's ultimately what we kind of don't want to see. Not going to lie. I mean, does anyone want to see 21 and get locked up for a long amount of time like Young Thug with the Rico? No. DaBaby? No. I don't want to see that. And if anything, you know, I'm hoping that Young Thug gets out. You know, we've been seeing some crazy shit like Young Thug being on his phone in jail right now tweeting, talking to Kanye and talking to Michael Phelps and shit. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Young Thug is getting out.
We were actually about to speak about Kanye. However, with Young Thug giving him the 100 acres, trying to give him 100 acres of land.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some crazy shit going on, man. I don't know what's going on with Young Thug. I don't know what's going on with the Atlanta DEA. However, I do know that we're safe for now, because I think that they're going to have to wait a little bit before they do any more indictments.
I'm sure when people...
I don't know if this lady is going to go crazy and do more. I hope not.
I'm sure when people heard that, though, they were like, 100 acres of land? What do you think about that? Young Thug saying, oh, I'm going to give 100 acres of land to Kanye, and y'all, you just have her for free.
I don't know. I mean, let's be real. I don't think Kanye is going to take him up on that. I think he's just kind of saying that. He's kind of saying it. I think Young Thug is just trying to do some shit to keep his name alive. You know what I mean? He knows Kanye is where it's at right now because Kanye's going crazy.
Facts.
And we're about to get into Kanye. You know, let's just go ahead and get into fully what we wanted to get into about Kanye. We wanted to get into his Yeezy Gap beef.
Bet, yeah.
And ultimately, Kanye has been accusing Gap. He's been accusing them of copying his designs. They've been accusing him of holding meetings without him, board meetings. And let's be real, man, you're not going to hold no board meeting without Kanye. And
especially if it's about your product.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. And I respect Kanye for standing up for that. And he shouldn't be getting bullied in any kind of business dispute. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of them guys. He's very smart. He just uses his platform like crazy.
And what, they sold his clothes that they collabed with? Gap sold his clothes like in trash bags?
Out of large trash. Kanye wanted that. And then the company got a lot of backlash because they listened to Kanye. And now it's harmed. It's starting to, those kind of little things over time are starting to mess up their relationship. And now it's getting to this point where they're holding meetings without him and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think they should hold meetings without him. Just tell him in his face, yo, if you got a bad idea, you got a bad idea.
Yeah. I just think Kanye, I mean, I understand what was going on with the Gap or whatever, but, like, I just think Kanye needs to stop. But he's bigger than doing these collabs with like he's bigger than, like, Yeezy could just be its own thing, man, and Kanye's so big, he doesn't have to do this Yeezy Gap and have contract disputes and shit like that. He doesn't have to do no Balenciaga collab. Man, just do Yeezy, man, and have no disputes with nobody and just work for yourself. I don't understand why he's not doing that.
Because you want to be a team and work with some brands, and they're telling you interesting information.
But bro, Kanye, bro, he's just getting screwed, obviously, bro. That's what he makes it out to be. Like, he keeps getting screwed over and over again. And all he wants to do is put his idea out there.
Maybe he thought this was the right deal, bro.
I mean, it wasn't.
Of course. Who knows? Maybe he'll find the right deal eventually. Whether if it's not with Gap, someone in the future.
He might be able to, but it looks as if he's been trying to open up Yeezy official stores all over the country, and that'd be the first. So
that's the first step.
So it looks like he might be going in the direction of opening up just Yeezy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what he should have been done a long time ago. You know, like I've been waiting for the opportunity to just go into the store and get Yeezy. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't they have that already? You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that hard to get that stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Kanye, he could be making more money scaling it bigger. Where you just walk into the mall and get Yeezy. You know what I mean? Yeezy ain't cheap, and because it's Kanye, he'd be able to hold that price up. And more
but
people.
His shoes are in stores right now, but like it's just not like a.
Yeah, but it's one of the things. It's like going. You gotta go on StockX.
It's more easily to get out of stock and whatever.
You ain't getting the top tier Yeezys, bro. You ain't just getting them. You gotta go online. You gonna pay a resale. It's just what it is.
Speaking of a top rapper in the game, we got J. Cole on the new edition of 2K.
And this is a first being on the cover, a rapper being on the cover, and it's the Dreamers edition. And I love this.
I think this opens the light to.
I think it opens a lot of
people
doors.
like maybe gamers being on the cover of like other games like FIFA, Madden, whatever have you. Special editions.
And I think it just opens
not the
up,
main game.
It opens up the opportunity for a lot more interchanging of you know what I mean? Interchanging of people. Rappers, man, getting on video games. Rappers getting on sports video games. Sports getting with music. You know, I think anytime that two sections of the culture intertwine, it's going to generate great things. And that's what I think is going to happen with J. Cole, 2K collab, and ultimately another rapper and then video game collab to Lil Durk, official GTA server dropping. And let's be real, this is just showing, you know, T Grizzly doing it, Lil Durk doing it, J. Cole being on 2K23. There's more and more and more rappers going and trying to get involved in video games. And they're trying to branch out and get involved in so many different ways now. And J. Cole is starting to pave the way for 2K in sports, and Durk is paving the way on GTA. This is going to change a lot of things about the culture, and I'm excited to see where this goes in the future. And this is just the beginning.
Remember we talked about what if one of Lil Durk's homies murk him in GTA?
And then he's going to want to slide on him in real life. The Durk is going to slide on him in real life. Nah, but he ain't for real. Durk ain't sliding.
Nah, but that's hilarious, though.
And let's be real. This collaboration is just anyone who likes J. Cole knows that this is just something crazy for J. Cole to be on a cover of 2K. You know,
Facts.
he's not a professional basketball player, and he was never necessarily going to be, but he had that dream, and he still played professionally overseas recently. And for him to be be on the cover of 2K is just a legendary moment. And I'm just you sometimes 2K doesn't make the right decisions, they don't do everything right, but for this, I have to give him a lot of credit for executing a great idea, and it's honestly one of them things that is going to bring people together.
Because they
make more people want to get the game.
Yeah, because they're showing that, like, you don't have to be like necessarily a basketball player to have a passion for basketball.
Exactly, and that you can be doing other things, man. Like J. Cole doing something completely different and still be a dreamer.
Love basketball
and be a dreamer. That's the whole point. The Dreamers Edition, man. If you're a dreamer, man, be like J. Cole, man. Anyone who wants to. And this was just J. Cole. He's living the life. It's freaking J. Cole, and he wanted to achieve his dream of playing basketball, and that's what he did. So I think it's fitting to have the Dreamers Edition. I think it's just a great idea. I think it's going to bring a lot of people together. It's going to bring a lot of people to the game. 2K knows what they're doing. J. Cole knows what they're doing. It's just a smart move on every side of the business aspects.
And Lil Durk on the GTA server, I think
that's a smart move too.
This is only more hype for GTA 6.
GTA 6.
Yeah, this is only more hype.
Let's be real. If they can start to work out GTA servers now, man, just imagine what they're going to be able to put together by
GTA 6.
They're going to have, they're going to implement that into the game and make those features even better.
Exactly.
So I think that this is honestly going to just make games better. It's going to pump more money into the games because more culture is going to be brought into it. More people are going to be interested. I can't imagine this being a bad thing. This is all positives, bruh. You know what I mean?
100%.
In my eyes, bro, the culture intertwined in, man, it's only gonna bring positives for the culture as well, man. It's just gonna keep going up, in my opinion.
100%.
That's my thoughts, but that's my thoughts on the J. Cole Dreamers. I think it's a great addition to the game.
Facts.
Ready to wrap this one up?
Yeah, man, we can wrap it up. I mean,
that's it.
Yeah, bro, I think we're good.
That's it.
Is there anything else that you want to speak about? Like the little little Dirk GTA server?
No.
No, that's it. This is going to be better for GTA 6 overall.
Exactly.
And it's bringing the spotlight, man. It's either make or break for them, man. If they don't make a good game, bro, because GTA 5 was peak, like incredible, bro. So if they don't make a good game, man, this could be bad for GTA and Rockstar overall.
It could be. Could be very bad. But I have faith that this can be a good game. So like,
yeah, of course. We got the faith.
Yeah.
Could be bad.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm ready to wrap this one up. Yeah, let's go.
Well, I mean,
thank y'all for checking us out.
Exactly. Thanks everyone for checking out this episode, and comment your thoughts on anything we talked about. Obviously, we're going to continue to read them. We're going to continue to take any thoughts and ideas, but obviously we want to hear your thoughts and your opinions on any of the topics as well. We're going to continue. We got more interviews potentially in the future. Let us know any people that y'all want us to try to get. You know what I mean? It's getting to that point where we want to try to cater, and if y'all, there's somebody that y'all want to see on the podcast, let us know in the comments down below. We'll try to work that out. We got a couple people in the works on our end as well.
We're working on the social medias, man, from the Snapchat. We're working on Facebook, Reddit, all that stuff, man. We're working on it.
And we continue to grow by the day on social medias that we already have. And so go ahead, man, check us out on Instagram.
Because the Instagram Twitter, reels are hidden.
Twitter, everything like that. We're on everything. TikTok. We've been growing on everything. So go ahead and check us on there. And then while you're down there, subscribe if you haven't already, because we just, we're over 200 now. Obviously, that's the first video, the first podcast. So it's a blessing. And, you know, right now we're at like 205 or whatever. So we're just going to hopefully keep going up. And, yeah, with that being said, man, we just want to keep thanking the fans. And we appreciate every single one of y'all that's here at this point in the podcast. Yeah,
and continue to shoot it straight, man.
Exactly. So with all that being said, man, I'm your co-host, Zach.
I'm your co-host, Blue.
And we're going to be here real soon for episode 18, man. We're going to see y'all soon. Peace.
Peace.